Welcome to the Dynamic Yoga Pilates. This is an intermediate level routine designed to develop strength and flexibility throughout the body. Come to stand at the front of the mat, either feet together or underneath the hips. Find your balance and breathe. Lengthen the arms up. Bring the palms together, return them to the center of your chest, close your eyes and come to focus on your breath. Noticing the breath coming in through the nostrils, filling the lungs, expanding the ribs. Rock tall through the crown of the head, gently draw the tummy in and breathe. Opening your eyes and we're ready to start. Breathe in to lengthen the arms up. Breathing out to fold down, hands to the floor. Breathe in to gaze forwards. Lengthening the spine. Breathing out, step back with the right leg. And then take the left back to join it. Into half plank. Keep the elbows close to the ribs as you lower down to the floor. Breathing in, lift to baby cobra. Keep the shoulders down, elbows close to the body. And lower back down. Come to hands and knees, tuck toes under, press back into downward facing dog. Settle the feet at hip distance and take a breath. Turn back down to the knees, step the right leg forwards and bring the left in to join it. Bend the knees, return to the top, palms together, return to center. Breathe in to lengthen, breathing out to fold. Breathe in, gaze forward, step back with the left leg, down to the knees, take the right back to join it, once more into half plank. Elbows close to the ribs as you lower down. Breathing in, lifting to baby cobra once more, or a little deeper if you prefer. Just gazing forwards, release back down, back to hands and knees, tuck toes under, press back into downward facing dog. Let the head drop as you gaze behind you. You turn back down to the knees, step the left leg forwards and bring the right in to join it. Bend the knees to return to the top, palms together, back to center. Continuing on at a higher level or stay with this level if you prefer. Breathe in to lengthen up, breathing out to fold down. Breathe in, gaze forward, step back with the right leg and then the left into full plank this time, or drop to the knees for half plank. Elbows graze the ribs as you lower down and then coming into cobra or up dog. On the tops of the toes here, the knees are lifted. It's a much deeper, stronger position. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears, or stay with cobra if you prefer. Release back into downward facing dog, either via the knees or straight into it if you can. Breathe once more here. Step the right leg forwards and bring the left in to join it. Bend the knees to return to the top, palms together and back to center. Once more. Lengthening up and folding down. Gazing forwards. Step back with the left leg and then the right. Nice strong plank position. Draw the tummy in. Elbows graze the ribs, lowering down, coming into cobra or upward facing dog. Choice is yours. Release back into downward facing dog. Settle the heels back and the hips high. Turn, step that left leg forwards, bring the right in to join it. Bend the knees, return to the top, palms together and back to center. And we'll get on with the first pose here, which will be chair pose. Bring the feet together if you can, toes touching, heels slightly apart. Breathe in, lengthen the arms up, then press the hips back as though you're sinking into a chair. Draw the tummy in, tuck the tailbone under, press the weight into the heels slightly more, keeping the chest lifted, gazing forwards. Find your breath in this pose. Refocus on those muscles that are working. Bring the palms together at the center of your chest and we'll add some repetitions. Sink down and lift slightly. Mid-range pulse, 2. Take it down, 3. Take it down, 4. Keep going. This gets the heart rate up. Excellent. 2 more. Keep those heels down. Last one. Hold it down. Return to the chair pose with the arms lifted if you can. Keep that tummy pulled in. Keep it strong through the legs as well as the core. Nearly there. Folding forwards. Step back with the right leg and then the left into plank or half plank. Elbows graze the ribs, lowering down, coming forwards into your cobra or upward facing dog. Release back into downward facing dog. Take a quick breath here. Step the right leg forwards, bring the left in to join it. Bend the knees, return to the top, palms together and back to center. Do that once more. So once more, bring the feet together, heels slightly apart, lengthen the arms up, sink back into your chair pose. Settle in here for the stretch through the calves, the ankles, engaging the muscles throughout the body here. The hands are lifted, keeps the heart rate lifted with the hands above the heart. Remember to breathe. Palms together at the center of the chest and we'll add those repetitions. Sink low and then a little bit higher. Sinking down and lift. Press down and lift. Maintaining that chair position. Keep going. Super. A couple more. Hold there, extend the arms back up once more into chair, as deep as you dare here. And then when you're ready, one breath here, fold forward, step back with the left leg and then the right. Lowering down. Elbows graze the ribs, come into your cobra or upward facing dog. Shoulders down. Release back into downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Step the left leg forwards. Bring the right in to join it. Bend the knees. Return to the top. Palms together and back to your center. Okay, pose number 2 is crescent pose. You're going to step back with the left leg into a lunge position. You want your front knee over the ankle, back knee dropping down towards the floor, back heel is lifted away from the floor. You settle here, find your balance, gazing straight forwards. Imagine a book balanced on your head, shoulders should be over the hips. Lengthen the arms up if you can, still maintaining that balance and that position. And breathe here. Keep the shoulders down. Nearly there. Bring the palms together at the center of your chest. We'll add those repetitions into this pose. Sinking down, lifting up. Little pulse down and lift. Down and lift. Excellent. Remember pressing that front heel into the floor to generate the power to lift yourself back up. 2 more. And then holding in that crescent pose once more. Find your breath here. Should feel quite warm in this pose. Folding down, place the hands down, step back into plank. Then lower down, coming into cobra or up dog. Press back into downward facing dog. And then stepping the left leg forwards directly into your crescent pose on this side. So it's that lunge position, front knee over the ankle, back knee dropping down, back heel is lifted. Lengthen the arms up when you're ready and you have your balance. Engage those tummy muscles. You're trying to square the hips towards the front of the mat. So bringing that left hip slightly forward, right hip back slightly. Bring the palms together and add those repetitions. Sinking down, lifting up. Sinking down and up. Try to imagine a book balanced on your head, so you're sinking down in towards that back knee. Good. Last two. Last one. Hold in your crescent pose. Lengthen those arms up, bringing that left hip slightly forward. Right hip back. That's good. Folding forwards, step back into your plank position. Lowering down, coming into cobra or upward facing dog. Press back into downward facing dog. And then we're going to move into warrior. We're stepping the right leg forwards. And open up into warrior two. So your front knee is over your ankle, back leg straight and strong. Check that your front heel is intersecting that back arch. And as you look down, you should be able to see your big toe. So the knee is coming towards the outside edge of the foot, not falling inwards. Shoulders are down, reaching out through those fingertips. You want the shoulders directly over the hips. Try not to lean forwards with this one. Draw the tummy in, tucking the tailbone under and focusing on that front middle finger. Powering through both feet into the floor, using the floor as a resistance to develop the strength in the legs. And place the hands to the hips. We're going to come into our balance pose, which is warrior three. Shifting your weight onto that front leg, so bend the knee. You're going to lift the back leg up away from the floor, pressing the heel away, and then if you can, you're going to extend the arms forwards. But if that upsets your balance, just keep your hands on your hips. Pressing the heel back, reaching through the fingertips, focusing on a point on the floor maybe that is not moving. Breathe here. This is a very powerful pose, very strong. You're only lifting that back leg up as far as you can control it. Place the hands back to the hips and come back into your warrior two, settling the feet into the right position. Front knee over the ankle, back leg straight and strong. That toe turns in slightly to help you press against the outside edge of that back foot. And breathe. Cartwheel the arms down, step back into your plank position, lowering down, coming into cobra or up dog. Press back into your downward facing dog. And then stepping the left leg forwards this time into your warrior two on this side. Front knee over the ankle, back leg straight and strong. Draw the tummy in, tuck the tailbone under and power both heels into the floor. Again, focusing on that front middle finger. Shoulders are down. Try not to lean over that front leg. Both feet should be pressing evenly into the floor. Excellent. And the hands to the hips, pivot round to face that front leg. Bend that front knee and then lift that back leg away from the floor when you are ready. Settling into your balance. Extend the arms if you wish, but if that's too much, keep them on your hips. Feel the power in that front leg. Working the muscles of the feet, the legs. You're also working the core strongly here as well. And when you're ready, place the hands back to the hips, settle back into your warrior two. Arms extended, eyes focused. Find the strength in this pose once more. Using the feet, pressing into the floor to develop the strength and the stretch through the thighs. Cartwheel the arms down. Step back into your plank. Lowering down, coming into cobra or up dog. Press back into downward facing dog. Just find your breath here. Make sure you have a strong downward facing dog here, because you are going to move into a three-legged dog shortly, lifting that right leg just to hip height, flexing the foot, press the heel away, toes facing down. Still try to relax the head and the neck. Breathe into this position. Pressing both heels back. And then bring the knee towards the nose, shoulders over wrists, and press back. Draw the knee towards the nose and press back. Knee towards the nose and press back. Last time, draw that knee towards the nose and just hold there, hovering that leg off of the floor. And then when you're ready, placing the right foot beside the right hand. Into runner's stretch here. Step the feet between the hands, bend the knees, return to the top, palms together. Return to center. Breathe in to lengthen. Breathing out to fold. Breathe in, gaze forward. Step back with the left leg and then the right. Plank or half plank. Lowering down. Come into cobra or up dog. Press back into downward facing dog. Settle here. Find your strength with both hands and feet. You're coming into three-legged dog by lifting the left leg this time. Remember, just to hip height here, pressing the heel back. Relax the neck and the shoulders here. And then we come into the cheetahs shortly. Powerful pose for the core. Drawing the knee towards the nose, shoulders over wrists, and press back. The knee towards the nose and press back. Don't let that foot come down. Draw the knee towards the nose and press back. And the last one, hovering it forwards. Place that left foot beside the left hand. Come into runner's stretch onto the fingertips, gazing forwards. Step the feet between the hands, bend the knees, return to the top, palms together, return to center. Breathe in to lengthen, breathing out to fold. Breathe in, gaze forward, step back with the right leg, and then the left. We're coming into our plank session now, so you can stay in full plank, or you can drop to the knees if you prefer. Tuck the tailbone under, draw the tummy in, draw the shoulders away from the ears slightly, and press back through the heels. Make the legs work here as well. Find your breath. Hands under the shoulders here. Come into a powerful pose now. I recommend dropping to the knees for the first set. We're coming into tricep press ups. We're only going to go halfway down. You must keep the elbows facing back. They should graze the ribs, not go out to the side. Lowering down, push back up. Lowering down and push back up. Lower down. Back up once more, lowering down, push back up, and then return to your chosen plank. Either stay in half plank or lift the knees once more, settling here for a few breaths in your plank position. Should be getting hot now. Lower back down to the floor, coming into cobra or upward facing dog. Press back into downward facing dog. Stepping the right leg forwards, bring the left in to join it, bend the knees, return to the top, palms together and back to center. One more set of those, lengthening up, folding down, gaze forward, step back with the left leg and then the right. Hold that plank position, either half plank. If those shoulders are really hurting now, you might want to go back down to your half plank. Take a breath. You know what's coming, those tricep press ups. You can either drop to the knees as you did before, or you can stay in this full plank position if you like a good challenge. Remember, only halfway down. Elbows back, pressing down and then back up. Take them down and back up. Keeping the body straight, lowering down and back up. Once more, you can do it. Press back up, return to whichever plank you can hold. Shoulders are probably giving you a bit of jip now, but try and tuck that tailbone under, draw the tummy in and press back through the heels as much as you can here. Developing the strength, lowering down, coming into cobra or upward facing dog, releasing back into your downward facing dog. Take a breath. Step the left leg forwards, bring the right in to join it, bend the knees, return to the top, palms together and back to center. I'm going to come into cobra work now, lengthening up and folding down. Gazing forward, step back with the right leg and then the left. Lowering down all the way to the floor. Release the toes. Hands underneath the shoulders and lifting to a cobra position here. Shoulders drop down, elbows close to the body. Keep the elbows slightly bent here to engage those arm muscles. You want the top of the back working here as well as you press the hands into the floor. And breathe, just gazing forwards. Lowering down. We're going to work the back now. So lifting to baby cobra. Lift the palms away from the floor, eyes gazing down. When you're ready, extend the arms forward, then bring them back in. Extend them forward, bring them back in. Two more, lengthening forwards, bring them back in. Once more, turn them back in, placing the hands back down. Releasing into downward facing dog. That should feel nice. Stepping the right leg forwards, bring the left in to join it, bend the knees, return to the top, palms together and back to center. One more set, lengthening up and folding down. Gazing forward, step back with the left leg and then the right. Lowering all the way down to the floor, releasing the toes and lifting to your cobra. Nice back bend position here, opening up the front of the body, hip bones still pressing down. Draw the shoulders down, wake up the muscles in the upper back here as you press the hands into the floor and lower back down. Lift to baby cobra, lift the palms away from the floor. And then when you're ready, extend them forwards and bring them back. Lengthen those arms forward, eyes still gazing down, bring them back in. Two more, lengthening, working all the muscles in the back here. Last one. Draw back in, place the hands underneath the shoulders, release back into downward facing dog. Settle the breath here as you press the heels back, gazing behind you. Drop to the knees and bring the right knee to the right hand, leaving the left leg out behind you into pigeon pose here. If you can, bring that right foot out to try and bring the shin parallel to the front of the mat. Flex the foot. Now you want your weight to go into the left hand side here, so don't collapse into that right hip. The hands are just underneath the shoulders and just settle into this pose. You're trying to draw the left hip slightly forward, right hip slightly back here. Exploring the stretch in that right leg and down the front of that left hip. Now we're going to add some movement into this pose. The easier version is when you keep the hands on the floor, so lower down towards the floor and then return back up. So just leaning forwards, going down as low as you feel that you can with the hands on the floor, and you can continue in this way, or you can take hold of the elbows with the opposite hands behind you, or reverse prayer and do the same movement, so lowering down, returning back up. This is a lot harder, I appreciate. Once more, lowering down, lifting back up, and then place the hands down and releasing yourself forward, so draping yourself over that front leg, only as far down as you're able to go, so that might be to the elbows, or your head might rest on the floor if you're particularly flexible through that right hip and thigh. Just settle your breath here into this lovely pose. This is our sleeping pigeon. Place the hands underneath the shoulders to bring yourself up. Tuck the back toes under and gently release into downward facing dog. That right leg should feel very different now. Find your breath here. And we need to do the other side. Lowering back down to the knees, bring that left knee to the left hand, leaving that right leg straight out behind you, release the toes, and bring that left foot forward if you can. Flex the foot to keep the knee strong, and bring the weight into the right hand side here, so you're not collapsed into that left hip. Just explore the stretches here that you feel. It might be different on this side. And we'll add the movement. So you can either keep your hands on the floor, or once more take hold of the elbows with the opposite hands behind you, and you're going to lower down towards the floor. So you can be folding forwards, and you come down as low as you can to control it to lift back up. That's good. Lowering down and lifting back up. Take your time. Lowering down, lifting back up. Once more, lowering down, lifting back up. And place the hands down and release yourself into your sleeping pigeon. So folding forwards, exploring the stretch in that left hip and thigh, either resting the head down or just coming to the elbows. Depends on your flexibility here. And breathe. Place the hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the back toes under. Lift to downward facing dog. Settle your breath here and breathe. Bend the knees, take them wide, big toes together, release back into child's pose here. Resting the head down onto the floor, lengthening the arms, extending the spine, and find your breath. Place the hands in front of the knees to bring yourself back up, and then we're going to come to sit. We're going to work our abdominals now, focusing using our boat pose position. So coming to sit nice and upright and cross the legs. Take hold in front of the shins with the hands. And then when you're ready, you're going to tilt back slightly just to lift the feet away from the floor. And then if you can, you're going to let go of the legs but keep them lifted. If you're able to, you uncross the legs and extend them out slightly. If you wish to, you can keep the legs crossed and still extend them if you prefer. If your legs are particularly long, you might choose this position. Focus inwardly here on your lower abdominal area. We're going to add some movement if you can. We're going to add some V-sits, but if not, just stay in that boat position that you can maintain. So your V-sits involve lowering the upper body and the legs at the same time and then returning them back up. Controlling and lifting. It's a small movement. Don't go back too far if you're not particularly strong in your abdominals. Lower and lift, that's good. Lowering and lifting, good. We're nearly there. And hold there in your boat pose once more. Breathe. We're nearly there. Place the feet down. And we're going to come to the floor. So rolling slowly down to the floor. Place the hands down beside you. We're going to come into bridge pose. So you want to place the feet underneath the knees here at about hip width apart. Tuck the chin in slightly to lengthen the back of the neck. And then we're going to lift the hips up away from the floor to come into bridge. So you're right up to your shoulders here. You need a strong position because you're going to lift the legs slightly here. You're going to work your gluteals. Find that breath to begin with. You should feel a stretch through the front of the hips here. You've lifted high enough. You can stay in this bridge position or you can add the leg extensions with the dips. So lifting that right leg and then lowering the hips down towards the floor. They don't reach the floor, and then you press the leg back up by pressing the left heel into the floor. Lowering down, then pressing back up. Good. Lowering down and press back up. Strong movement. Lowering down, engaging those buttocks to press back up. Lowering down, firing back up. Once more, lower down, press back up, and place that foot down, and then lift the left leg once you've got your balance. Lowering down, push back up. Lowering down and push back up. Keep going, press that right heel into the floor to power up. Lowering down, press back up. Nearly there. Lower down and press back up. Last one. Excellent. Place the foot down. Find your balance and then lengthen the arms up over your head if you can. Let them rest down here. Big stretch through the front of the body. And then we're going to lower the spine back down, starting at the top vertebra, then the middle, the lower back, and then finally the tailbone, and then returning the arms back in at the end. And hug the knees into the chest, squeeze the thighs into the belly, have a nice little rock side to side. Just got a couple of stretches to finish with. Place the feet down, knees bent, and extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. Take hold of the back of the thigh with your hands to support the leg. You want the heel high, toes towards the shins, and the leg as straight as possible. I'm going to add a little bit of movement to try and encourage a deeper stretch. Bend the knee slightly and then straighten it quite hard. So straighten it using the muscles in the front of the thigh. So it's a little bend and a big straighten. You should be able to see the quadricep muscles working to straighten that leg for you. The more that they work, the more the stretch you get through the back of the leg. So you're using your own body and one set of muscles to stretch the other. That's good. Then just holding it there, leg nice and straight, and try to draw it towards the head if you can, asking it for a little bit more. Breathe. And then cross that right leg completely over the left so there's no gap between the thighs. Arms out at shoulder height. Move the hips slightly over to the right and then drop the legs over to the left, turning the head to look over that right shoulder. With a stretch throughout the body here, on the side of the leg, through the spine, across the neck and the chest. Try to relax the hands and breathe. Just releasing throughout the body. Wonderful. Breathe in, return the legs back to the center, uncross them, extend that left leg up towards the ceiling. Take hold of the back of the thigh, heel high, toes towards the shins. Nice straight leg, relax the shoulders. And then adding a little bend and a strong straighten, a dynamic movement to try and create a deeper stretch through the back of the leg. Little bend and a big straighten, little bend and straighten. Keep going. Excellent. And then holding there. Nice straight leg, trying to draw it towards the body a little more if you can, asking the question. And then crossing that left leg over the right, arms out at shoulder height. Moving the hips slightly over to the left and drop the legs to the right. Turning to look over that left shoulder and feel the twist throughout the body. And find your breath. Turn the legs slowly back to the center. Uncross the legs. Draw the knees into the chest. Squeeze the thighs into the belly and have a lovely little rock side to side. Little massage for the spine. And placing the feet down. You can either keep the knees bent, feet on the floor, or you can extend the legs if you prefer. And placing the hands just below the ribs with the fingertips touching. Close your eyes. As you breathe in, feel the fingertips move apart. As you breathe out, feel them come back together. Lovely expansive breath. Stay for 10 rounds of breath if you can, connecting your mind and your body